Hey, this is Pastor Blair. So it's been a while since I've made a video, and actually I was waiting for these two perfect circumstances to come together for this video I've been daydreaming about, and it was the right night of the week and the right temperature. And so tonight is the night, and let me tell you what my plan is. I like to seasonally change out the equipment in my pickup. So obviously it's winter now, and so I've adapted it to winter survival gear to get me hopefully out of or through any unpleasant circumstances I may find myself in. So what I end up doing as I pack this is daydreaming about how exactly what I would do, and if and you always have these question marks about your choices. And instead of having a show and tell, this is my winter survival kit, what I thought I would do is go out tonight and put it to the test, truly try to survive. And tonight is going to be extremely cold. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, so it'll be an extreme weather survival test of my winter survival kit. So we're probably gonna. It's not late, but we're losing daylight here quickly. So let me get to where I'm going, and we will take it from there. Alright, the rules for this, the rules that I have set, go like this. I'm going to use exactly what my winter survival kit consists of. I have just a few. I've got some camera gear. That's not a regular part of that. I've got this little laser thermometer I hope to utilize for some interesting results as we go. And I've got this light just strictly for filming. So I'm going to use anything in my truck. Now I don't know what the scenario is. Whatever the scenario, my truck is dead. And I don't know if you can hear, it's running right now. I haven't shut it off yet, because once I shut it off, basically the stopwatch starts, because it's going to begin losing heat very rapidly from that point. So I'm and this has happened to me in real life scenarios where something has happened, and either I've got it fixed or I'm stuck. And in this drill, anyway, if you can call it that, we're going to be stuck. However, so I don't have an unfair advantage, I'm going to shut the truck off. It is 5:30 actually on the on the dot. 5:25 my phone says. We'll call it 5:30. Okay, I'm going to shut the truck off. So what heat I have right now, I need to conserve. However, in a real world situation, you'd be out the door. So I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to use that time to go through my toolbox in the back of the truck. I know I've got a wool blanket, and just scour that and see if there's anything else there that I can use. I'm stuck to the gear that I have here. I'm going to end the heat. I'm going to use this laser thermometer. I'll try to pick a common place to keep hitting it. I dropped this on the floor before I left. Okay, there. All right, let me see. It was on Celsius. We're going to work in Fahrenheit. I think. I hope my batteries aren't going dead. That would be a short-lived... Alright. We'll let that reset itself. I've got my cell phone. For the sake of this challenge, we'll say that I'm out of cell phone signal. We will be using this throughout the course of the night to map both time and temperature. Let me see what we have for a temperature. Give me a second here. Looks like it's about -5, but it's not updating real time. -5. We've got if you can see that, -5 degrees. I'm gonna just give you a little heads up here. It's 5:30, -5. By 10 o'clock tonight, it'll be -9. By midnight, it'll be -12. 3 a.m., it'll be 17 below zero. And 7 a.m. will be 20 below zero. And sunrise is at 7:55. And then finally, it starts warming up at 9 o'clock. Hopefully, we're out of here by 9 o'clock. It'll be 18 below at 9 o'clock. So it's just a steady decline. So I'm just going to do a little inventory. I did find these in the back of the truck. There's two of them actually. So two little pans. I've got my. Oh, and I found this wool blanket. This will come in quite handy. That's a nice wool blanket. And then I've got my winter. Let me set this light up to give us a little bit of filming light here. My winter survival kit here. I do have I've got a flashlight in that, so I've got that in case we need it. I'll set that in the back seat. The biggest piece in here is I believe it's a Czech sleeping bag. Now this is a really crummy sleeping bag. Number one, it's very short. The Czech people must be short. Number two, it's not very warm. I've used it camping one time, and it dipped down to the upper 30s, and I just froze. So a rather poor sleeping bag. Okay, so I've got this is just a little, I think it's a pistol case is what it is. There's no pistol in here. Let's see, probably dark sea. Some space blankets, a total of 3, a roll of electrical tape, 3 emergency candles. We're going to light these candles up, try to generate some heat. There is a little hand warmer. I wonder if these have expiration dates on them, because this puppy is likely quite old. it doesn't. Okay, and then a couple of granola bars. So that's what this consists of. That'll be handy. Those space blankets. What I might end up doing is partitioning this truck off. I'm gonna check my thermometer again, see if it fixed itself. Oh man. Sorry about that. Okay. There's Fahrenheit. Okay. Okay. So it's reading right now. It's reading, I don't know if you can see that, 35 degrees. Already you can feel a bit of a draft coming. Now those temperatures I read you, it's -5 right now. My weather app doesn't show the wind chill, the feels like, or a real feel. But I guess that's, I'm a little surprised by that. I am surprised by that. Okay, I guess it's right. I'm hitting the dash where the heat was just on. It's 49 degrees. The windows are coming in at 14.6. Now this this thermometer only goes down to 4 below. I read that right before I left. Oh no, it doesn't. It's showing 12 below. So take that for what it's worth. My phone says 6 and this is saying 12. Just hit a tree trunk out there, 12 below. So it does go below 4 below. All right, continuing on in this, we've got that pair of gloves. I'm wearing a glove. That's also what I have is my regular EDC, which consists of a little pen light, a pocket knife. I do have my pistol just because it's part of my EDC. We're not going to have to worry about getting carjacked either way. In the bottom of this, I have a couple of emergency candles, 3 of those I believe, more emergency candles, 2 of these. These are 26 hour. In my mind I thought they were 36 hour. It shouldn't matter. I'm gonna get out of here in the morning. We'll be here a little more than 12 hours though, because I'll wait till sunup, which was at what time? 7:30. Another pair of gloves. Just some everyday stuff, some radiator stop leak. I've got these mittens. If things get too dire, I've got some cordage, some 550 paracord. I've got a number of black trash bags and some larger hand warmers. These do have an expiration date, 2021. So these are still good. And then I have this. This is a dollar store brand, I suppose. Quick Flame, it's called. Well, it's alcohol gel, I guess, alcohol gel. And this says burns for 2 hours. So maybe I'll hold this till, this will be my Alamo. If things get too sour, I'll fall back on that. I've got a case of safety pins in here. Tire plug kit, which tonight won't do us much good. These look like ashtrays. These were actually part of the emergency candles in a can. So we've got these. Okay, and then I've got my my get home bag, and in that I probably have I do have an MRE, which I'll use. Also, I guess I'll be forward and honest with you. I did bring 2 bottles of water. I don't keep water in here. I figure if something happens, I can melt snow. I brought 2 bottles of water, and maybe you consider that cheating a little bit, because if they were in my kit, they'd be frozen solid all the time, all winter long. And if I had to melt, I should shut my key back. And if I had to melt snow, that would mean require getting in and out. See how fast we're losing. It's maintaining right there at about 35. I'll try a seat back. I don't know. Seat back, I'm getting a different reading, 44 degrees. That's what I'll use. Back of a seat. 39. So that'll be my constant. All right, so that's kind of what I've got. And if something else shows up, it's probably out of my get home bag. So I'll just keep you informed on that. But as I'm sitting here and hatching this plan, I think what I'm going to do is partition off here, get in the back, partition this off, and fire up my candles. I should light those candles right now to get them beginning to heat. Partition this off with the wool blanket. Yeah. Put a little cordage across and hang this wool blanket and divide the two sides. Getting back, light the candles, and try to minimize the space that I'm trying to heat. Not that this truck cab is too big, but I think a handful of emergency candles against better than 20 below, I don't think they'll be able to keep up with any sort of efficiency. So, all right, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to jump in back. Well, it's been 30 minutes. I've got, I don't know how well you can see this. I've got my wool blanket hung up. I got my candles burning down there, 2 of them. I did find the third. We're running about 41 degrees. So it's actually holding the heat. See my breath a little bit there, but if anything, I'll tell you what the biggest challenge has been is working. I look back here all the time, but this is such a confined space to try to do any work. I don't know if you can see behind me, the glass is frosting up pretty quick. As I was doing this, I had another idea. I've got those trash bags. If I could tape those over the 3 windows back here, it would really increase the R value. It would get that static layer of air between the glass and the plastic, and that air is going to be the best insulation a guy can find. But I'm telling you, it's just so confining back here that it about drives a guy crazy trying to get something done. But shoot the temperature again. About 40. I don't know if it's holding or not, I guess, but all right. Well, my problem is with the windows now is I think at some point, somebody had put Armor All on this. Wash this with Armor All. Certainly not me, but somebody has. Anyway, the tape won't stick. So I did get looks like I'm living inside a greenhouse. I did get this Mylar blanket up attached to my just tucked up underneath this, and so it's against the wool blanket, backs that. So I think I'm going to do one the other way and tuck it behind the seat here. So I've got enough. I think I've got 2 or 3 more. So I'm going to do that. I was just going to give you a check on the seat rest there. And we are running, let's see, 46 degrees. Looks like I've got a Catholic shrine going on down here. Well, still out here, still alive. It's about 20 to 11 right now. The temperature is now 7 below. So It's cooling off. My temperature in here, it had been fluctuating. It started fluctuating incredibly. You know, between 5 and 10 degrees. It would drop and then it would come back, and it would just, at its peak, was about 60, and it would drop down to, it even got below 50. Anyway, so what I did is my sheeting here was up against the window, so I took a chance and I remodeled. I kind of reslung it so there was some air between this and the glass, and it dipped bad. It got to about 35 degrees in here, and I thought, oh goodness, what have I done? And just slowly and slowly and slowly, with the help of my candles there, it has built back up. So, and now we're, like I said, I have hopefully plugged the holes under the seats where the cold air was coming up from, and so now it's maintaining much better. So I truly hope that's the last time I have to do that, because now we're seeing the temperature beginning that dive bomb, and I think it's going to dive steadily and fast all night, and I would hate to have to. I was very grateful it stopped at 35 and it held up there. Anything less than that could have gotten very uncomfortable. So if I have to do it again here when it's 10 or 15 or, heaven forbid, 20 below, yeah, it'll be dangerous. So I just want to get this all buttoned up now. Kind of comfortable now in here, so I'll just keep you updated. I got into this. I did get into the sleeping bag here, so like doing acrobatics there to get in here. It's just it's a touch after midnight here. It's about 10 minutes after. It is. I'll show you here. It is 9 below zero. 10 after midnight. It's about 20 after 1. The temperature still continues to drop. It is now, let's see, 11 below. And in here, let's see if I can check this real quick. In here it is, it's kind of leveled out. I don't know if you can see that, 57. And I don't know, on the floor here, about 30 degrees down low. And that's not too bad. It's 3 o'clock in the morning now, and the temperature has continued to drop. It is 15 below zero now. So it is really cooling off in here. About 45 degrees up high. I don't even know down here. 17 on the floor, so yeah, it's definitely cool enough. You can see my breath a little bit. So it's just gonna get colder. I'm kind of out of ideas to trap the heat, so now it's just, I imagine it's just gutted out from here on out. Alright, I had to shed my sleeping bag. It's morning, by the way. About an hour ago, my knee, from being forced in the same position all night last night, locked up, and so I had to shed the sleeping bag, I had to snake out, and I literally had to step outside and stretch it out. Of course, all my heat got out, so the last hour's been even more miserable than it was already going to be. We've got current temp at 23 below. And this is 44 degrees. Not bad. About 15 degrees on the floor, but not bad. This Mylar, it's made all the difference. So I can't. My candles are out right now, and they've been out. So this is just maintaining that mid 40s, and that's about what it was with the candles on, and about what it was before I snaked out to stretch my knee. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm out of here. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm not gonna clean this out. I'm just gonna hope that the truck starts, go home, and I'm gonna recap the whole trip from home, probably after a quick nap and a quick shower. See you then. Alright, I made it in. I made it into a nice warm shower, and haven't got a nap yet. It's still morning here, but alright, let's just recap everything. I want to go over some surprises, some things both pleasant and unpleasant, and overall things about the kit that I would change from here moving forward based on the experiences of last night. Okay, so an unpleasant surprise was just I disliked this adventure more than a lot more than I expected. It was very uncomfortable, and basically it was like being in an uncomfortable coffin for 14 hours. And I'm kind of hyperactive, and that's just my it was misery. It was hard for me, miserable. So that was unexpected. Nothing. I mean, I'm not saying it was the worst experience of my life, but that aspect of it was a lot harder. Very uncomfortable. Like I said, I don't have knee problems, but my knee locked up last night just from being stuck like that. I had to lay on my right side. I do have shoulder problems, and that was flaring up last night from being laid on. But I had to lay on my right side facing in front of the truck so that my rear end wasn't hanging over the seat, getting lit on fire by the candles. Learned that through trial and error. So, alright, so equipment. I guess I don't have any equipment there to review. What was it? Mylar space blankets and candles for the most part. That sleeping bag that I knew going in was not the best. That Mylar sleeping bag really helped, except the condensation inside. First time I've ever used one, so a lot of condensation inside. I don't know, maybe let me know in the comments if the wise thing to do is put that Mylar bag on the outside of that check bag. I don't know. So, comfort-wise, besides, temperature, I should say, temperature-wise, as far as it relates to comfort, I was surprised there that it held as well as it did. So, it up high in the back of the truck, it never dipped below 40. And that's easily survivable. So, especially at 23 below, and I believe 23 was our peak cold. So, let's see. The truck, it seemed more spacious as I was planning it in my head than when I actually got there. It was very hard. Even the act of getting into the sleeping bag, one sleeping bag into the other with me inside, miserable. I'm all stuffed up, maybe from the, I don't know, candle fumes? Is that such a thing? let's see. Otherwise, not a lot of gear to review. My weaknesses on the kit. It would be nice to have a better heat source. Be nice to have a better truck. Let's start with a better heat source. What if somebody was with me? My 8-year-old son wanted to come with on this, and I thought, well, that's interesting. See if this survival kit can use my son as a guinea pig, but I'm glad I didn't. Well, what if it's not by choice? What if he's there? What if my whole family's there? And I think what I would do is, I had 3 Mylar space blankets. I think I'll buy a 4 or 6 pack of them to have in my kit. And then I could actually tent off, cocoon out the whole cab of the pickup. So I was surprised by those. Okay, the important thing here is I was able to stay fluid. Some of my plans didn't work out as I'd pictured in my head. I was able to adapt, because keep in mind, from the time I turned that key off, and I think I stated this, that stopwatch was pressed for survival. You had to be moving. You had to be moving forward. One thing I noticed through the night was it certainly improved my situation to be continually improving my situation. I know that's sounds like a stupid statement to say, but instead of just saying, okay, here it is, now it's time to survive, throughout the night I actually used that laser thermometer to find areas where cold was coming in, and I would address those. Now, that's not part of my kit. Maybe that was cheating, but the same could be done with a hand. So anyway, it's done. I survived, so it worked. I would improve my heat source. I'm going to improve my heat source, and I'm going to add some additional Mylar blankets to my kit. Other than that, I think it went quite well. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Thank you.